I rebuilt my life after turning 50. And what I discovered shocked me. Because the real work isn't adding more achievements, money, or tools. It's tearing things down, breaking old patterns, destroying what no longer serves you. If you don't, you'll keep trying to rebuild on a foundation that's already crumbling. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you the 8 things every man must destroy before he can truly begin again. When I was younger, I built a life on what looked safe. The job seemed stable. The marriage I thought would last forever. The identity I wore like a well-tailored suit. For years, it all seemed right. Until one day, it didn't. The strangest part was not the changes outside of me. It was the battle inside. I realized I was still loyal to a man I no longer was. The version of me who thought he knew everything at 30. The man who believed he could plan out a lifetime of choices without ever revisiting them. I kept making decisions to stay faithful to him, not to who I was becoming. And that loyalty almost crushed me. Here's what I had to learn. The man I used to be deserved my gratitude, but not my future. He got me this far, but he could not take me further. Rebuilding began with grieving him, thanking him for his service, and letting him go. You might feel the same. You might tell yourself, I've been in this career for 20 years. I can't just change now. Or, I've always been this type of man. That's who I am. But that is the sunk cost fallacy wearing human skin. You are not locked into being who you were. And if it's not working anymore, you owe it to your future self to stop pretending. There's another prison we build without realizing it. It's the story we tell about why we cannot change. Every man has one. A personal narrative that explains why we are the way we are. Why did things turn out this way? Maybe it's about your childhood. Maybe it's about the marriage that broke apart. Maybe it's about a job that drained you dry. Or about the way the world seems colder than it used to. The story feels honest. And parts of it may even be true. But here's the trap. When your story stops being an explanation and becomes a permission slip to stay stuck, it turns poisonous. I know. Because I lived inside mine for years. I could recite every betrayal, every closed door, every unfair turn. And I didn't realize I was building my future around my past. I wasn't lying to myself, but I was limiting myself. And so are you. If you keep defending that story instead of outgrowing it. The turning point came when I asked myself a brutal question. Do I want to keep holding on to this story, or do I want to build something better because I couldn't do both? The men who actually rebuild their lives are not the ones with the fewest scars. They are the ones who stop letting their scars define what is possible. Your story matters, but it is not your destination. It is simply the ground you are standing on, and you decide what to build next. Another weight I had to drop was my attachment to who I thought I should be. And this one cut deeper than I expected. Because it wasn't just about my own expectations. It was about all the voices I had absorbed along the way. My parents, my culture, my younger self, all whispering in my ear about who I was supposed to become. Maybe you feel that too. Maybe you're supposed to want the corner office. But deep down, you'd rather work with your hands. Maybe you're supposed to dream of retirement, golf, and long vacations. But what you really crave is starting something new. Maybe you're supposed to chase financial security above all else. But in truth, you'd trade it for time and freedom. Those shoulds are not neutral. They are someone else's values wearing your face. And they will suffocate you if you let them. I had to face the uncomfortable truth. Disappointing other people's expectations of who I should be is the price of becoming who I really am. And some people were upset. Some couldn't understand. Some tried to pull me back into the box they built for me. Let them be disappointed. Because their comfort with my conformity was never worth my misery. And neither is yours. That was just the beginning. I had to let go of loyalty to my past self. I had to stop defending the story that kept me small. I had to turn down the voices that told me who I should be. And then came the hardest truth of all. The one that hit me like a clock striking midnight. It was about time. How much was left? And how little I really had. The hardest punch didn't come from losing a job. It didn't come from the divorce papers. It didn't come from the mirror when my hair turned gray. It came from math. Simple. Brutal math. If you live to 80 and you are already 50, you don't have 3 decades of wide-open freedom ahead. You might have 20 good years. Maybe less. That realization stopped me cold. Because for years I lived as if life was an endless rehearsal. I treated every decision like a rough draft. I kept saying, later. I told myself I had time to figure it out. But later has a way of turning into never. And if you're hearing this, I want you to feel the weight of that truth. Not to depress you, but to wake you up. Every month you spend postponing what matters is a month stolen from your future self. Every year you spend asking for permission is a year you could have been free. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the show. And the curtain is already up. When I finally admitted that my time was finite, my priorities snapped into focus. I stopped wasting energy on things that didn't matter. I stopped waiting for perfect conditions. I stopped lying to myself that I was still warming up. If you are 45, 50, 60, hear me. You are not in the warm-up lap anymore. The race has begun, and the clock is ticking. But even when I saw the clock, part of me still clung to another fantasy. The fantasy that I could ease into change gradually. One small upgrade here. A tiny tweak there. No disruption. No risk. No real pain. It felt comforting to imagine that, but it was a lie. Real change is not neat. It is disruptive. It breaks routines. It ends relationships. It shakes up identities. The most honest decision I ever made was a clean break. Quitting the job that drained me, setting boundaries that made people uncomfortable, speaking the truth that changed everything. I am not telling you to be reckless, but I am telling you to stop pretending that baby steps are enough when the gap between who you are and who you need to become is a canyon. A caterpillar doesn't grow wings by adding them to its old body. It dissolves completely. It rebuilds from the inside out. And sometimes, your life demands the same radical reconstruction, not because there's something wrong with you, but because there is something right in you that has been suppressed for too long. And yes, it hurts. But the pain of transformation is the doorway to freedom. There was another trap I had to destroy. The belief that if I just found the right hack, the right system, the right productivity trick, it would all click into place. I consumed books, podcasts, courses, workshops. I called it personal development. But really, it was sophisticated procrastination. I was researching my life instead of living it. Here is what I learned the hard way. There is no routine. No supplement stack. No app. No coach who can do the work for you. Growth is not something you can download like software. It is not a formula you can follow step by step to guarantee results. Growth is a decision. Then it is a dozen uncomfortable actions. It is saying no where you used to say yes. It is showing up differently even when people dislike the new version of you. It is having the conversation you've been avoiding for 10 years. You already know what you need to do. The problem is not information. The problem is implementation, and implementation cannot be hacked. It can only be done. Stop researching your life. Start living it. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every single time. But even when I began acting differently, another weight tried to drag me back. And this one cut to the bone. It was my loyalty to people who did not support my growth. These weren't evil people. Many of them were friends, family, people I had loved for years. But they preferred the old version of me. The safe, predictable, self-sacrificing man who never rocked the boat. They liked me better when I stayed small, when I had no boundaries, when my needs came last. The executive with the corner office might be questioning every decision he made to get there. The confident neighbor might be fighting panic attacks you will never see. Everyone is carrying something. Everyone is struggling in their own way. The only difference is how well they hide it. Comparison is a thief. It steals your energy. It steals your courage. It convinces you that you have to feel ready before you act. But readiness is a myth. Nobody feels fully ready. They may be uncomfortable at first, but they will adjust. The ones that cannot handle the real you were never truly yours. They were relationships with your performance, not your person. So I made the painful choice. I stopped carrying people who needed me to stay broken. I allowed myself to disappoint those who only loved my weakness. And yes, I lost some connections. But what I gained was priceless. I gained the freedom to become who I really was. Looking back, these were the turning points. Waking up to the ticking clock. Accepting that real change required disruption. Dropping the fantasy of hacks. And cutting ties with people who could not come with me. Each one hurt. But each one cleared space for something stronger. And there was still one illusion left. One more chain I had to break before I could truly rebuild. And it was the most subtle trap of all. The last illusion was the most dangerous one. And it's the one almost every man carries in silence. It's the fantasy that everyone else has it figured out. That you are the only one stumbling through the dark while everyone else walks confidently in the light. I used to believe this. I'd scroll through social media and see men my age with smiling families. Perfect vacations. Beautiful homes. I'd sit across from neighbors who look so put together. Because I'm going to keep speaking the truths most people are too afraid to say. Not to tear you down, but to free you. The second half of life is already here. And you get to decide how it begins. Stay strong. Stay awake. And rebuild with courage. So here is the resolution I came to. You rebuild your life not by adding more. Not by polishing the old structure. Not by waiting for the perfect blueprint. You rebuild by destroying what no longer belongs. The loyalty to your past self. The story that keeps you stuck. The voices telling you who you should be. The illusion of unlimited time. The fantasy of gradual change. The obsession with hacks. The loyalty to people who don't support you. And the comparison that convinces you you're behind. Each time you let one of these go, you create space. Space for honesty. Space for growth. Space for freedom. It is not easy. It is not comfortable. But it is real. And real is the only foundation worth building on. I don't know what your exact story is. I don't know which chain feels the heaviest right now. But I do know this. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to keep carrying what no longer serves you. Your second half of life can be more alive than the first. Not because it will be easier, but because it will be truer. And isn't that what we want in the end? Not more applause. Not more trophies. Not more approval. But truth. Freedom. A life that finally feels like our own. I'd shake hands with executives who radiated certainty. And I thought, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be like them? But here's what I know now. After decades of listening to men in their most honest moments, after years as a psychiatrist, a mentor, and a fellow traveler, no one has it all figured out. No one. The man with the perfect marriage might be lying awake at night wondering if it will survive.